2 shots of vodka.
RoadBeers.
I am the liquor.
RoadBeers.
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here.
RoadBeers.
I drink and I know things.
RoadBeers.
How many drinks of alcohol do you consume a week?
One shelf.
RoadBeers.
What's that? What's that?
We should get some road beers, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we should get some RoadBeers.
But yeah, so Sunwing canceled everything out of Saskatchewan, and I had the 2-week vacation in Puerto Vallarta booked, all inclusive and everything. It was an all right price for coming out of Saskatchewan, but for 2 weeks it was the same price as it would have been in Cuba.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it got canceled, and then the next day I was like, fuck this, I still want to go somewhere warm. I still want to go somewhere warm, right?
Yeah.
And so then I looked like for my time frame and like everything. It was Cuba for 5 days. I didn't look at the itinerary before I booked it. It said 7 days. The trip was 7 days.
Right.
I didn't look at the itinerary before I booked it. Looked at the itinerary 3 days later when I quit drinking, because it was over New Year's that I booked it. So then after New Year's, I look at the itinerary. I was like, wait a minute. Why do I have so many connections? And I looked. I had an overnight layover there in Calgary, then an overnight layer in Toronto, then off to Veradero. Then on the way back, I had an overnight layover in Calgary.
Jesus Christ. So you had to spend it, you did do it? Or
I did, yeah, but I made the best of it. I stayed at, I booked a comedy show, and then I stayed at for the Calgary layover.
Okay.
And the comedy show was fun. There was a guy called Lamont Ferguson. Never heard of him before, but he was funny.
Okay.
And even the people who were before him, the starters or whatever, I don't know if you call it.
Right. Yeah.
But they were pretty good too. But nobody would laugh at the jokes. He was making tranny jokes and stuff. It was hilarious.
Oh.
Being in Alberta, way better than going in Saskatchewan for comedy.
For the tranny jokes?
Yeah.
I didn't think of it.
And so there was that, and then
We get laughs about that here.
no, not as bad, not as good.
Not in Saskatoon, but in a lot of Saskatchewan. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, that's another shot, by the way. For the record, we just took a shot.
Crown Royal.
Chaser.
So yeah, and then in the Toronto layover, I grabbed the train from downtown. You can get from the airport to downtown in 25 minutes for $10
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
via the train. Yeah, and then
Yeah, their systems are so much
there's no
better.
snow there. It was like plus 5 degrees.
In Calgary?
Nice.
No, in Toronto.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Calgary had basically no snow either.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got fucked.
Well, I think the A got
Yeah.
fucked too, but not. But then they had one of those. What are those called when it fucking gets warm?
The
over
nor'easter or
Chinook.
Chinook. Yeah.
I don't know
Even
if
back
they
home,
did.
they just had their first real snow of the
Really?
winter,
Where you farm, Debbie?
Nova Scotia.
Jesus Christ.
Nova Scotia.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, and then in Toronto, I took the train downtown. Also hit up a comedy show. It was more like
Nice.
new comedians, but they were funny too. But nobody was laughing again. There was one girl that was
why
really
go to
bad.
a comedy show?
Exactly. There was one girl that was really bad, but she was doing like woke jokes. She was like, "Oh, so I matched on Tinder with this guy, and he said, I don't know, something normal." And she's like, "Oh, so you're a white straight male?" And she wouldn't talk into the mic correctly, and everybody was like, no laughs at all. Everybody else was at least making decent jokes.
She's a white straight male.
No, she was Asian.
Oh, but wait, so she swiped right on the guy and then said,
and
"Oh,
then
you're a white straight,"
and then
male.
made a joke about him being a white straight male.
Like you had to have seen the picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you knew what you were getting into.
Well, you're going on Tinder looking for a gay guy.
Yeah,
you're like,
a black gay man.
Yeah, you're gonna swipe right on this guy.
Yeah,
Trevor. With a picture of a fucking fish, you know.
Yeah.
Well, sexuality has nothing to do with it too. If you want to be a white guy, don't swipe on the white guy.
Yeah. So that show was all right, and then
Farmers only.
And then I stayed in a hostel in Chinatown in Toronto.
In a hospital.
Hostel.
Oh,
it was
like, yeah, let's just
hostel.
A hostel. Right?
Yeah, $36 a night.
extra
I figured
rooms?
was better than 130.
Yeah. Who'd you share a bunk with?
There was 4 girls.
Oh.
They didn't want to talk at all. I was like, "Oh, is there anything going on tonight?" And they were like,
Wait, where were you again?
"Toronto."
Toronto?
Yeah, in Chinatown.
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Markham?
I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure it was just off downtown. Like I walked from the train a half hour north, and I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Asians.
It's Toronto.
Chinatown.
So yeah, and then the next morning, or I got up from the hostel. I think I woke everyone up by accident, and then at like 5 a.m. and then took the train to the airport, and then I was off to Veradero.
Nice.
See, the big takeaway of this is you like trains?
I like trains. I might be autistic.
No.
I like trains.
I like trains.
The guy wears the fucking fisheye GoPro
fisheye.
on his. You see that?
He gets oh my god, you would love him. His whole TikTok is just him like watching trains go off and like waving.
And he's autistic.
I don't even think he's
got
I don't think. No, I actually don't think he's autistic.
He's just British.
He just likes trains.
He's not autistic. He's just British.
That could be like a game show.
Autistic or British?
Not British, because British aren't even the worst one. It's just Europeans. It's like, is he autistic or is he Swedish?
Yeah.
Yeah. The European.
No, the whole time I was riding the train, I was like, oh, my brother would love this because he's autistic. I'm like, man, I gotta do a train vacation with my brother for his birthday or something.
Jesus. All right, so recap. You're supposed to go to fucking.
Supposed to go to Mexico. Sunwing.
Fuck you, Sunwing.
Well, the problem apparently was they booked all these contracts. They booked all the flights, and then they did contracts with foreign pilots to fill the flights.
Yeah.
The contracts fell through with the foreign pilots, so they couldn't fill these flights that they booked.
Well, I think they did all these foreign flights because, the snowstorm that happened before Christmas. But they have a different
since
model
COVID
than WestJet Air. I'm not going to get into it. They have a different model. They don't do the hub model. They do the direct. And that really, it doesn't centralize pilots or whatever.
Oh, so it fucks pilots.
So when something breaks down, like a big snowstorm, like they do direct instead of having a hub. Like WestJet's got Calgary as a hub.
Yeah.
Or Toronto, like these hub models. They don't do that. They do like this straight back and forth. And so you don't have all your staff in a centralized place. And I think what happened was that they had all their pilots over here
when they should be over there,
who couldn't get back over there, and then they were fucked like that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, fuck them.
Yeah, they.
So yeah, ended up booking Cuba through WestJet. Had those layovers. We love you, WestJet. Well, they're trying to buy Sunwing.
Well, yeah. Hopefully they change the fucking name because they've got names.
Oh yeah, that name's tainted forever now.
But WestJet's not that I've flown.
WestJet's so much better than Air Canada.
Honestly, though, Canadian Airlines suck.
Suck dick.
I've been on some Asian airlines. Holy shit, it was night and day.
They're nice.
Everything about Air Korea was great. I think it was Air Korea. Or the German, it was like a German Lud fucking whatever. Oh, they're all, like every airline.
Kanye Airlines.
Every airline outside of North America is the fucking best. Like, North American Airlines, there's no service.
Yeah.
Just
terrible
Canadian,
service.
Really. The States, I feel like.
I had a great flight from Toronto to Veradero. It was the best flight I've ever had. They didn't charge me for 2 of my drinks.
Hey.
Yeah.
Holy.
That's like, I like Porter that flies out Eastern Canada. Like, Porter's a good
But the
airline.
stewardesses were just the best. The other flights, I can't say the same. They were bitchy.
When I flew with Lufthansa, it's Dutch. I remember this now because it's free Heineken entire flight.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It's fucking
nice.
The kicker about Asia and European airports, and actually African airports, there's some African airports that are way better than North America.
Why is that?
You can smoke in the fucking airports. You can have a fucking cigarette.
Yeah.
When I was in Seoul, in Seoul in South fucking Korea, which is terrifying because the fucking North Koreans were dropping nukes, and I think the airport's like 50 fucking kilometers from a fucking North Korea.
Wow, yeah.
It was like shit in my pants, but not really.
Yeah.
But
good thing they're capitalists in South Korea.
Every fucking gate, like, you know, you have like everybody sit outside your gate, and there's maybe like 4 or 5 people in each gate. And they had a smoking room for every single gate,
Ooh.
and it was just packed. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of like fucking guys in suits, like Korean, Chinese guys, like just like it was just packed with guys in suits, just huffing back these like fancy Asian cigarettes. You're fancy. They always got like little golden dragons going around it. It's fancy as shit.
Yeah.
So I fucking loved it, man.
What's the one thing that keeps me from traveling? Not gonna lie, is question.
Can't hack a dart.
How long am I not gonna be able to smoke for? Like, how long?
Get those nicotine pouches.
Yeah, no, I've totally found.
I'm pretty sure last time
you could get away with vaping. You could smoke in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Last time me and Debbie went out to fucking Halifax. She's like, I'm gonna have a cigarette in the bathroom. I was like, no, you're fucking not.
I don't think you did that then.
No, you did.
Oh, did I?
You did. You cracked a fucking cigarette and like I can't remember if it was Toronto or Calgary.
Debbie's exposed.
I've done it a few times. I ain't even gonna lie.
I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, that's fucking retarded. But
well, you just have to put something by the door too, and then you've got the tap going. You smoke into something. You know, your coat, your sweater into the toilet.
She's got it down to a science.
Yeah, you just can't set nothing off. Just can't make it obvious. Carry spray.
What about the woman taking a shit right next to you there?
Well, no, airports, you got the private ones. At least in a lot of, like, you just go into,
the wheelchair
like,
ones?
Well, like, even just, like, I've gone into, like, one-person ones before. Like, Halifax has got them, Toronto, like, you just...
You gotta go to the gender-neutral ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's... Yeah, that could be that, too, actually.
Because then you can get...
the stalls. I would never
the
smoke
security
in a stall.
guard in trouble who tries to stop you.
Yeah.
You go,
but
if you just assume my gender, they're not gonna fucking arrest you.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Okay, sorry, we got off topic here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, biggie. I'm just gonna put on a timer because I gotta get to that pub crawl.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys thinking maybe come out to Black Cat tonight?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd be down to go out.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put on an hour timer and then I'll grab an Uber back home.
Yeah.
45 minutes.
This guy fucking Uber is nice. Fucking Uber. It's good, even though it's called RoadBeers, we don't endorse RoadBeers.
No, we do not endorse drunk driving.
No.
We only endorse drinking and driving, but we don't endorse being drunk while driving.
Fuck you.
We love Mad.
Yeah.
Made?
Our sponsor today is Made.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I got my pictures here.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. We never even got you to Cuba yet.
Oh yeah, so the flight to Cuba was great. We landed. I could feel the humidity instantly.
Yeah.
I'd never been anywhere tropical.
No?
Right?
Oh,
I've only
shit.
ever been, the furthest south now has been Las Vegas, and that's dry.
Oh, you have to go to Florida.
I'm going to Florida in March.
Oh yeah, you just said that.
Spring break.
I've been
You'll
to the
love
Caribbean.
Florida.
Oh, I'm excited.
Florida's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I
can't imagine. I want to go as an adult. I was only like 15 when we went.
Yeah.
But that's your. I can see you living
Miami.
in Florida.
I will probably die in Miami. That'll be my last hurrah.
That would be a great way to die.
In Miami?
In Miami.
Jesus.
So, we land, go through the airport. Nothing special about the airport. It's basically Saskatoon's airport, but poor. Communist, yeah. I was surprised what everything looks like there. Have you guys been to Cuba?
I've never been to Cuba.
No,
I've been across to Jamaica, not
so it's in the
further south I've been is Florida.
Caribbean.
Never.
Caribbean, yeah. Because Cuba's part of the Caribbean, right?
Yes, sir. But Cuba's by far. It's actually really large. It's like by far the largest island.
We took a cab. Okay, sorry. So we get there. Take the bus to the hotel. The guy's talking his shit, trying to get us to do all the tourist traps, everything like that.
Yeah.
And we get there, and I'm like, I've never been on an all-inclusive before. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I walk up to the hotel, I check in.
Go to the bar.
I wish I would have spoke fucking Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
They don't speak very good English.
Oh, right.
Couldn't figure out the Wi-Fi. I had to try and figure out the Wi-Fi. Anyway, went up to my room because I was like, what else do I do? Dropped off my stuff. And then I opened up the sliding door to look out. There's people. It's beautiful. There's people at the swim up bar. And
do you have a wristband?
I did, yes. Yeah. So there's people at the swim up bar with a speaker. And I didn't realize it was a speaker. I thought the bar was just pumping music.
Right.
Like it was that good of a speaker. And the one guy goes, "Hey!" And I was like, "All right, I guess I know who I'm gonna go meet first, because I don't know what I'm doing." I felt like a fish out of water for sure.
Well, it's just a free
It's
bar and
scary,
free
yeah.
food, so you
Yeah. But I didn't know how it works. Like, am I supposed to, like, I don't know. Do I just walk up and say I want this? Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, I found that out later.
Did you get a Cuba Libre? Is that what it is?
What's that?
Cuba Libre?
Liberty Cuba?
Oh, it's a drink.
Oh, I didn't.
It's actually just a rum and coke.
Oh, that's what someone told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
You mostly just say if you go to a bar here. I took bartending classes, right? And you go, I want a Cuba Libre. That's what they show in the book. But people are like, if anyone says that to you, don't serve them.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
No, I ended up just drinking pretty much just beer. I got the one waitress who was smoking hot to give us tequila shots, so that was nice.
Nice.
But and I'm pretty sure I came on to her pretty strong. But
Did it work?
Oops, no.
Oh.
So then I made friends. I made friends with the guys from Ontario who do like DJing and stuff. So they brought a Bose speaker.
Were they the one with the girls?
No,
Oh,
but the girls join in with that group.
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Ontarians sticking together.
Yes, yeah, all the Ontario people. So then I saw that they had a beer pong table, little inflatable beer pong table.
Oh, you look fucking loaded.
Yeah, I was pretty hammered.
Were these all filmed?
Also, for the listeners, we're looking at film pictures of the
Nice.
Cuba trip, and that is what we're...
Man, you getting a film camera was a 20 out of 10 idea.
Yeah, bringing a film camera on vacation, definitely recommend that.
Yeah, we have to do one next year for sure. Well, we're going back to Nova Scotia in July.
I bet you banged the redhead, didn't you? Or the fake blonde.
No, that's no, they're a couple. They were really nice.
Fiscal bangs.
The blonde and the red hair were a couple?
Cute.
Yeah, that's the one I posted on Instagram. That's the girls from Ontario.
Yeah, no,
they were really fun.
really nice.
So I found the guys, and I was like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" Yada yada. It was a little awkward at first, but then I got a couple drinks with me, and everybody was fine. And we just kept getting absolutely obliterated.
Nice. Who's the old guy?
That's Buddy from Penticton. So I was like, you guys should hang out with my mom.
No,
I mean my mother.
Yeah.
Did they or are they going to?
They said that they would link up because Bonnie seems like a good time.
Yeah.
The guy is a little weird, but
Was Bonnie a good time? Were you at one of those swinger resorts?
No, no, I don't think so. At least.
Who knows what 40-some.
So yeah, we had a really good group together, and so the guys had this Bose karaoke machine. So if there wasn't a party, we made one. Right?
Yeah.
So that was good. And then I also met this old lady, Marge, and she said she was retired, right? And she goes, I don't know how it got on the topic, but I had mentioned that I was Christian, right? And she was like, "Oh, I am Christian." And then eventually the drinks were flowing, and she goes, "I'm in a loveless marriage. I love my children, but I don't love my husband." And I was like, "Oh, Marge."
Oh, Marge.
Oh, me. So yeah, that was a little weird, but she was super nice. 70s, early 60s, mid 60s. I don't know, something like that. But we ended up all going snorkeling together. It was good.
Where are they from now?
Snorkel, eh?
I think Ontario. Yeah, Ontario.
Okay.
And I think the biggest mistake I made was not bringing more cash. Doesn't matter if it's Canadian or Cuba. Like, you can't get Cuban pesos outside of Cuba.
Right.
Because they're communist. But American, Canadian, doesn't matter. I needed cash. Because I figured I could just use an ATM in town.
Right.
Or in the airport or whatever.
And you can't?
There is no ATMs in the airport.
Oh.
I found that out.
You could have been Mexico. You would have been fine using cards. But Cuba's a special case, right?
Yeah. And then we went downtown.
Is it because of the communism?
Yeah.
I think so. So we went downtown the one day. All of their internet is like separate from everything.
Yeah.
So it's all run. I think it all goes through like the Cuba internet people, and then to everything else.
The reason you're mostly Canadians, like, did you even meet any Americans? There's barely.
No.
They don't.
There was Russians, and I didn't like them.
I'm sure a lot of Russians. Yeah.
There was a group of drunk Russians.
Russians
we were
scare me.
we were all
Like-
playing volleyball, and there's this one guy that was just so fucked up, and he kept grabbing his ass cheeks and like going like this, like the Ace Ventura talking with your ass cheeks bit, and he kept doing that and going.
Oh my god.
Well, you know what?
I wonder if he's related to Just question.
There's millions of Russians. Yeah, I bet this one's related to Putin.
This one's related to Putin.
I
Yeah.
always, I don't know. I feel like they're just. I don't mean to stereotype or be prejudiced by any means, but Russians are scary.
Go ahead, Deb. Pour it out.
They just. I feel like, especially Russian males specifically. I feel like women are nice. But
Well, there was
Like-
there was like two Russians
all
with a bunch of
mafia guys.
Ukrainians.
Oh,
And the
see,
Ukrainians
that's
were
nice.
nice.
That makes me happy. We love Ukrainians.
And the Ukrainians kept going up and going, no problem, no problem. But the Russian guy would like take a dip in the water while we were playing volleyball, and then come and like face plant in the sand, and then stand up and looked like he was a abominable snowman.
They sound like a
because he
riot.
was full of.
Sounds
Oh,
great.
I thought he was hilarious.
That sounds like a fun Russian.
I thought he was
would trust
hilarious,
him.
but then he started like fucking around with us.
Aw.
Like I went to go serve the one time for volleyball, and then he comes up behind me while I'm trying to serve, and starts humping me from behind, and I was like,
Red flag.
"Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah, never mind. I go back to not
So
trusting for more.
yeah, and then later that night at the pool bar, not at the swim up bar, but the pool bar, we were all chilling and having a good time, and then he kept coming over and being like, "Yeah, this is her." And then there was the one old dude who I think was Cuban but spoke English, like was from Canada, and he was like, he is gay, he is a faggot.
Oh
And he's
my
like,
God.
he needs to leave.
Hey,
And he was in a wheelchair too. He's like, he is a faggot, he needs to leave.
There's nothing that's gonna insult a Russian more than calling them gay. So.
But I think he might have been. At first, I was like, no, he's just joking around. And then he kept like doing the ass cheek thing and like was like feeling the guys a little too much.
Well, that's just Europeans. This goes back to the whole autistic or European. The Europeans they're a little touchy. Does he wear a Speedo or did he?
He was wearing a Speedo.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
He's
That's
just
what I had
he's
to
just
do.
European.
See, and that's what I thought. But the old Cuban
But I don't
guy
know.
was not happy.
Wow.
And he ended up. He's
Was
like,
he like a
I'm
Patches
gonna,
O'Houlihan
I'm going to
type?
beat the shit out of him. And he grabs a plastic chair while he's in his wheelchair, hucks it at the Russian.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They ended up the staff ended up wheeling both of them
Cuban
back
missile crisis.
Wheeling them back.
to their rooms. But then the Russian guy ended up waking back up and joining us for
Who would win in a
karaoke.
fight, a Cuban or a Russian?
What was his name?
Well, not that Cuban because he was old.
Sounds like a badass.
I know, but
Yeah,
I have to
Sounds
be
like he would fuck you up.
Cuban.
Yeah, probably Cuban.
So did you leave the resort in your time there? Or you just...
Yeah, we went to the Matanzas city. Fun. We took two Quebecois women with us. They were not very. They looked unkempt.
Well, they're French Canadian.
They were not
can't cook.
hygienic. They
Yeah.
weren't hygienic women.
They sound French Canadian.
Yeah, they were French Canadian, and the one girl looked like she should be on an ad for a gingivitis cream. Like her teeth were disgusting, and that's coming from me. I don't have nice teeth.
But she's French Canadian.
She's French Canadian. We all took the old convertibles. Like we sat in a Model T.
Well, yeah, they got nice cars there.
Yeah, we took the old convertible cabs from
Oh,
the resort
that's
to Matanzas, which is a 40-minute drive. But we made it was super fun because they took their Bose speaker with. They take it to the bars and the clubs and they start karaokeing.
Oh, fun.
And the people love it. On the way, they fired up the speaker and the one driver was like, "Hey, let's stop for some at a roadside bar and get some beers." The drivers got beers, we got beers. We're all driving, and the drivers are like cheersing us. It was great, literal road beers.
RoadBeers. So,
And
as a disclaimer, in Canada, no road beers.
yeah,
In
no
Cuba?
road beers in Canada. Cuba maybe.
In Canada too, if you're out on the farm, maybe.
Yeah, on the farm maybe.
Not in the city.
No drinking and driving condoned. Anyway,
No.
so then the
we don't condone.
No condone.
The driver
It's
in the-
purely educational.
I was in the car with the French Canadians, which boo, but the Ontario car we kept like passing each other on the highway and like honking and going woo and stuff like that. And they fired up their karaoke machine, and the driver of the fun car was like, "Hey, my mom and my sister are up. They're having a couple drinks. Why don't we drive past and you can sing them a song?" So the one guy had a pretty good voice, sang Ed Sheeran, "Perfect," I think.
Aw.
He like serenaded the cab driver's mom and sister.
Aww.
It was actually a really nice moment.
That's cute.
And that was like, we were almost at the Matanzas city to go hit the clubs. But
A lot of Fidel Castro murals, you see?
I didn't see much, no, but their state buildings are really nice.
Did you meet a Castro?
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
Well, and then when we got into town, circle back to the cash thing. I didn't have any cash because I only took like $100 Canadian with me.
Yeah.
And the staff will exchange like 1,800 pesos or whatever rate that you can negotiate with them for $20 Canadian. And they love it because I guess they get a good exchange rate when they take everything into the bank at the end of the week.
Dollars is a lot.
Yeah, so I had already exchanged my money and spent all of it. So then we were in town, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go try to find someone to do an ATM. And everybody there, if you ask them to help you find something, they expect a tip.
Yeah.
So I knew this was the case, and I asked the one guy, I was like, can you help me find an ATM? We went into the blocks. It was kind of sketchy, not going to lie. We go to the ATM. I put my card in.
If you're with someone, it's not. It's anywhere you go, you got to just do the local.
All three of my cards got declined on the ATM because I think it routed improperly to my bank. So even though I told my bank that I was going on vacation and everything, like approve all transactions and stuff, I don't think the internet is
a lot of their financial systems, they're sanctioned.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
So like my cards worked in the airport when I went to buy a humidor and bottles of rum and stuff, but wouldn't work at the ATMs downtown.
Well, everyone wants a tip, and you know why though? Like from my understanding of Cuba, and it might have changed because the world's constantly changing, and Cuba's changed a lot since the days of you said it was strict embargo, and then it was off for a bit. I think it was back on for a bit, but things have changed, and the world has changed because the internet, even things like shit. But the thing about Cuba is, well, one, they're cut off, but everyone, because of this state-controlled system, and they've only recently allowed people like to have private restaurants. There's always been like private taxis that service tourists.
Yeah.
But people who service tourists in places like Cuba are the richest folks because even doctors in Cuba
a lot of doctors. They said that doctors get paid less than servers.
Well, because you get tipped.
Or make less.
Because when you're getting tipped by fucking tourists, like Western tourists, well, and they're Western too, I mean, but when you're getting tipped by American or Canadian or whatever tourists, who we tip, and that's not really even a thing down in these places, but they do it with the tourists.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting tipped like a week's wage.
Well, and that's the thing. If I'm getting a mojito for $2, of course I'm going to give a $1 or $2 tip.
Oh yeah.
Because a mojito here costs $14 fucking dollars.
Oh, exactly.
So.
Well, and these people take and of course, like you have the smartest fucking people, but it's better. You have a better time being a fucking server than you are being a doctor in these fucking countries.
Fun country though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Americans.
No Americans. It was kind of nice. I wish the Russian would have calmed the fuck down. But
Americans can't visit Cuba?
They can, but they're not welcome.
They can't. There's also not flights directly from America to Cuba. So
I thought all that changed with Obama.
It did, but it didn't.
Okay.
Like they lifted the embargoes and stuff, but did anything come of it? Not really.
Well, I think I don't know if the Republicans have changed that or not, but
oh man,
I still think it's just not a tourist place for Americans, and they lifted it on tobacco and stuff. I think they lifted some stuff, but overall, I mean, typically Americans have been able to go there, but they have to fly through like somewhere like Toronto or Canada or to Mexico. Probably Mexico. I don't know how they do it, but I mean Mexico probably closer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck, what was I going to say?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, this picture right here. It's me and a couple older ladies.
Holy.
Just wait.
John, see, and are you sure you weren't at a swinger resort?
You'd think, eh?
So
that's not
wait,
this one.
we haven't even got to the sexual escapades yet. So
See, this is what we're getting to.
hey, the older lady.
Okay, I will disclaimer. I had. Never mind. Let's
Josh
just
got
tell
a
the
few
story.
mommy issues.
Marge.
No. Wait,
Did
your
I
mom,
did
Does
not.
your mom listen to this podcast?
I hope she does.
He doesn't have mommy issues.
No, my mom's great. Okay, so this picture right here. So I had met this lady the day before. She kind of looks like a character from Bob's Burgers, like no neck or like no chin. It's all neck.
Neither do I.
So there's so that's I can't remember Diane, I think her name was.
Oh, Diane.
And me and there was a group of younger French Canadians there who I partied with a little bit, but they were a little pretentious.
And you're like, tabernacle.
Yeah. And they didn't really welcome me into their group as the Ontario people did.
What's your favorite French swear word?
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle. Suck it, dude.
That's everyone's favorite.
But oh no, it was Joan. That was her name, not Diane.
Love
So
that.
Joan,
She looks like a
me
Joan.
and two of the Quebec kids, who I guess they were brothers.
Hold on, Josh needs.
No, the
Josh, you want a
picture.
cigarette?
No, I'm good.
Josh is gonna smoke a cigarette.
All right.
Just for
Oh,
the
you
show.
convinced me.
Oh, I
Twist my rubber
I'm
arm.
getting a little drunk. I just started throwing your. I put your photo with our photos now.
Oh no.
Josh is part of the family.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to be part of the family. John and Debbie.
John and Debbie. She's Cuban.
That is, yeah, right. That's yeah.
When you call me
So Joan, me and two of the Quebec guys were talking to Joan and their friend. Can't remember what his name was, but
Hit that. We're talking about Cuba, so he's got to smoke a little tobacco.
Harry.
it wasn't Terry. But it doesn't matter. So the guy, Joan and the guy, they're all talking. They're like, "Oh yeah, there's this sexy lady my age. Her name's Michelle. You'd love to meet her." And then she calls her and she's like, "Michelle, we're here with 3 sexy young boys, or not boys, sexy young men, and they want to meet you." And we're like, "Of course we want to meet Michelle." And we're like joking around, right? So we're like joking around that we're all gonna bang Michelle, right? This 60-year-old woman, and she's like, "Okay, Michelle." She's like, I'm in the airport. I'll see you guys in like 3 hours. And she's like, "Okay, Michelle, we'll see you."
She's just rolling in?
She's just rolling in. We don't know what Michelle looks like. This is what Michelle looks like.
Oh, that's
If
Michelle.
anybody's wondering, she's a
fucking
she's a unit.
beauty.
She's a MILF.
No. She's not very good looking.
Oh. Really knows how to put the mascara on her.
Yeah,
What's that when you put the
yeah.
color on the eyelids?
So-
you know what that would.
That's silver look.
Okay, she's not ugly. Let's be honest. Let's not talk shit on Michelle.
She's cute.
No,
I like
she-
her fit. Like she's
For a
she's a
60-year-old
nails are
woman,
cute.
yeah,
Like,
she's.
a
she
cutie.
takes care
But
of
you know,
herself.
so
I
we're all
love
joking
her.
around, right? We're, "Oh, Michelle," and the French guys are like, "Oh, Michelle, yeah, oui, oui."
Michelle.
What, Michelle? Yeah, that's how they said it. Michelle, yes.
Oh, wah, wah.
Oui.
Oh, wah, wah.
And so yeah, and then I didn't think anything of it. Went to bed that night, and then the next day we were all drinking and doing karaoke, and Michelle was there, and I was fucking hammered.
Did
I
you
had too
make out
many-
with Michelle?
Too many cervezas. Me and Michelle start dancing. I made out with her.
Oh,
I made out with the old lady.
Is that the oldest woman you've ever made out with?
Yes,
There you go.
that is the oldest woman I've
But
ever
not
made
the
out with.
oldest he slept with.
No, I didn't sleep with her. At the end of the night, spoiler alert, everyone. At the end of the night, we were just sitting there. Everybody, the night's starting to chill, and I was like, "Okay, I gotta go to sleep. It's like 5 a.m.
Holy shit.
Sun was coming up, and I was like, I gotta go get some sleep. I'm like, "Michelle, I'm in 206. If you want any of that magic Saskatchewan dick, you just slide on over, knock on the door."
Where's Michelle from again?
I think Ontario.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, there.
So yeah, and she didn't take me up on it.
Jeez, you got.
So the next day, I had like
Michelle.
super like hangover anxiety because I was like, "Oh no, I bothered this old lady. I like forced her to kiss
Probably
me.
was the best night of her life.
But I talked to her the next day. She was like, "Oh, that was great. We were dancing
Probably,
and
you know,
kissing."
when
and
you're
it was
that
good."
old, you know, just the confidence that a nice, good-looking young man. Josh,
Yeah,
for the record,
he
you're
probably,
not,
like,
Josh ain't
I
a
was-
bad-looking dude. I don't think. I don't know. I can't
Thanks.
tell you, but he's
John.
he's in shape. You know.
Thanks, Johnny.
No, that was probably like the best night of her
Here
life.
She actually just messaged me last night.
Oh,
We're doing another crown.
We're doing a shot of whiskey.
Oh boy!
Oh,
All right,
Lord,
road
what's
beers.
this
Hey,
now?
I'm
Road
definitely
beers.
not driving home.
We're against drunk driving.
So did you get laid on this trip?
What's that?
You get laid
I
on
did
this
not
trip?
get laid. It was only 5 days.
Classic.
The girls, the really hot girls that I posted on my Instagram,
Yeah.
they it was funny because they had that like voice where they were like, "Oh my god, that is so cute," like stuff like that. And but it was kind of nice to hear that for once.
Yeah.
Uh,
That Ontario.
yeah.
Not even
They were really
Ontario
nice, but
City.
they told, so I didn't meet them directly. I met them through the karaoke guys.
Okay.
They found them, and I woke up and they were like, "Hey, we found these girls." I was like, "Oh, sick." And they're like, "But they have boyfriends." I'm like, "Oh, dang it." I don't think they had boyfriends. I
Cuba?
think they just told the old dudes that they had boyfriends.
Get them to leave them alone.
Yeah. But it worked for me too, which sucks. Because they were cute. They were real cute.
They want to jump your bone. They jump your bone. So.
Yeah.
The problem
but
was
that is the safe
whenever I was
side
hanging
on
out with them, I was
vacation.
really hungover. So like the one day I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" I like wake up, I'm like, "Ah!" and I waltzed down to the pool bar and I'm walking. There's like a little pathway over the pool, and the girls are way at the far end of the pool, and they're like, Josh, come over here." I was like, "All right, sure." I was gonna go get a beer, but tits are better. And then I went and sat down with them, and I was just like, "Holy shit, I'm hungover." And they're like talking and everything. They're like, "Josh, what do you think about that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can't think." My brain was
it
hurting.
hardcore opinions? Like, how do you feel about the economic budget?
Yeah, that's what the girls were saying.
They're like,
How do you feel about the economic budget?
Yeah. Inflation. What's your opinions on the Bank of Canada?
Yeah.
Interest
What do you think the interest rates are gonna do to our future generations? No, they were talking
That
like
housing market, though.
no, they were like, "Oh, what's your favorite food?" And I was like, "Oh, I like Greek food." I don't know. I'm like curled up on the beach chair.
Rogies.
God.
Some nice rogies.
Yeah,
That's your.
but it was a good time. It was good to meet them. They were good.
You're Polish, right?
Yeah, yeah. Kubasa.
How does that feel?
Well, I'm still a Kanye fan.
Still Kanye fan.
Well, I'm not Jewish. I don't have Polish features.
I don't think that many. You Polish, not Jew. I don't think most Polish are like
Polish.
very Catholic. I think
Oh,
Poland.
yeah.
Poland. Okay, I was reading the news. Shouldn't read the news.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Poles made abortion illegal recently because they're very
Based.
conservative. They're very Christian. They just like themselves. But all these fucking Ukrainians.
Everything on this podcast is a joke, by the way.
Apparently, all these fucking Ukrainians these Ukrainians they're getting raped by the Russians.
Oof.
And then they're coming and they're fleeing to Poland. And then they
Yeah.
can't get an abortion.
So sad.
It's sad. It's like,
no.
oh shit.
Oh
I
no.
thought Poland was nice. I thought Poland was like socially like a good place to be.
No, they're like
I think
super
they're
far
nice.
right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're not super. They're very, very Christian, and
Yeah.
like they're the last like
So
really,
far right.
really Christian country. But it's different in Europe. I don't know about Poland specifically, but in Europe,
Back to Europe.
you get a lot of
Oh, those
the
Europeans.
fucking autism.
Oh, those Russians.
They're just strange folks, man. All the Christians in Europe, though, they're not like in North America. Christians are like hard right, love Bible and freedom and guns. But
Yeah.
over there, they're like all their Christians are like they fucking love socialism. They're like,
Oh yeah.
Well,
they're
So it's like
socially-
Saskatchewan
socially
Christian.
conservative,
It's like they're closer to the
fiscally left.
They feel it more.
So
Probably
I don't
would
think
say.
Poland is. I think Poland is like, because they love their guns in Poland. Poland is like, outside the United States, the next like biggest gun owning country.
Yeah.
Because they're ready to fight the fucking
Do
Russians.
you think the Pope's a nice guy?
Nah. Probably a chomo.
Yeah.
Child molester.
Ask the kids in Buenos Aires. I don't know.
Yeah.
all his little fucking pulpit kids. I don't know.
Yeah. So the end of my trip.
Sorry,
This is a little nice
been a
bow
little
on the trip.
political.
So I got real fucked up a bunch. I had huge hangover anxiety on my last day. I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, what did I do? I don't remember a bunch of things. I made out with an old lady.
Nothing like good old hangover
What a
anxiety.
trip.
Yeah, I get such bad hangover anxiety.
I do too.
Yeah.
So then what
Jared
fixed
won't
it?
even let me show him like videos, pictures, anything from like
It
next
ta- it
week.
takes
Greg.
about-
See, and
No.
embracing it for me makes it better.
Me
It takes
When I
about
talk to people
a month.
about the night before and stuff, that's why I like hangover brunch.
Yeah, well, everyone has like it's still a good time.
Yeah.
The problem
Like,
is when I get drunk, I get way too into my shit. Which my
Oh,
shit,
same.
people don't like my shit.
Oh,
So I get
come
political sometimes.
sometimes.
Because I get political sometimes. Put that on John's tombstone. But okay, so to wrap a little nice bow on the Cuba trip, had a great time, met some great people. Oh, we were doing meditation with the karaoke machine in the morning on the beach. I almost cried.
Oh my god!
When we were in it, we were like, we put on some 432 hertz, like the miracle frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
We put on some like healing music and stuff like that, and we were all just like, breathe in, breathe out, and the waves were crashing, and it was like 10 a.m. Oh, that was the best thing.
That's a
I almost
dream.
cried. I almost cried.
But I would've. That's
Okay,
goals.
so to end the trip, I was all hangover anxiety. I'm like, oh, how am I gonna get home? Like, I got a connecting flight, blah blah blah. And then in the airport, they have all these nice little shops. It's not like they don't have any American companies,
right.
so it's all like looks like local
Cuba's
little
doing
stuff,
something
right?
Fuck America.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Only they could.
So I found.
You get that anywhere though. You wouldn't find. You don't even when where America is allowed. You find American shit, but
Yeah. Well, like our airports have a ton of like booster juice and everything like that, whereas theirs was all nationalized companies.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool.
So you would get these shitty sandwiches at the airport for $7,
yeah.
but whatever.
$7
Anyway,
$7
US. Everything in the airport was US, which is weird because we're their biggest.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But the US dollar is.
US dollar is the world currency. But in the airport, I found a cigar shop that had these cool humidors. I gotta show you guys.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I'm seasoning it right now, but it has like a Native American warrior on it because they were the Arawak. The Arawak were in the Caribbean.
Man, I always forget that they would have had like indigenous people. Too.
Yeah.
Like,
So it has like an Arawak
cool.
warrior on it,
oh, shit.
which is super cool. So I paid 120 Canadian for this humidor.
Let's back up. You forget that there's indigenous people in
everywhere.
Yeah.
But in South America, who do you think South Americans are? Cause
I know, but I think it's just I don't know much about it. I guess like
because
I'm
they're
glad
not
we hear a lot about like
they're
Canadian
not
and like America, whatever. But I don't know.
They're not a. I mean, there's a lot of. It's weird when you go to.
Are they still around,
I've
or
been to
did
South
they get like?
Well, and that's the thing, because so I'm gonna finish the
Yeah, sorry,
airport.
I'm on a
Then we'll get
So-
to our talk about.
So I bought
indigenous
the
people.
humidor and 2 bottles of rum. It ended up being the rum was $40, and I got this nice sipping rum. It tastes pretty good. I'll share it with you guys.
You got ripped. In
No, it
Cuba?
was, but it was in the airport.
Yeah.
The guy at the resort was gonna sell me a really like a $500 Canadian bottle of rum for like
$10.
$20.
Yeah.
Damn.
And now he was making money off that. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
he was. Yeah.
You could go there and you could probably buy like cheap shit.
Yeah, they were selling bottles of rum for $5.
That's the deal for next time though. When you're trapped.
No, I gotta bring more cash. Had to bring more cash.
Yeah.
See, I'll give
Man,
Josh.
we should do one of those trips together.
I'll give Josh
That
with
would
a
be
travel
cool.
hiccup. Just for this, like I've traveled quite a bit in my youth.
See, and I haven't. So
Because I've been to. Well, I don't need to list it on this podcast.
yeah.
I've been to every continent except for Antarctica
Yeah.
and Australia. I have no need to go to Australia because Australia is more fucking expensive than Canada.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much Canadian. Every Australian I met, they're just hot Canadians.
Oh, mate, you want to rip a dot?
Yeah, and I have no interest in going there because it's not anything different except a fucking hot can. It'd be nice to go to the beach.
Yeah.
I'd go to the beach in fucking anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And it would be
way cheaper.
1/5 of the fucking price.
So, so in the airport, I bought these things, and then all of a sudden, the hangover anxiety went away. Isn't that weird? I was just like, I've got my humidor. I'm happy.
You think that's how rich people? They're just
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a job to be rich.
Insane.
Yeah.
No hangover anxiety.
No hangover anxiety.
I guess it depends on what type of rich.
Oh, and speaking of flying down there, I paid 4 times as much for my trip as the guys from Ontario flying out of Toronto. So next time I'm driving to Calgary, parking my car there for $80 for a week, and flying out of Calgary. Because I even talked to the people from Calgary; they were paying like $1,000 for a week.
Well, I'm
all inclusive.
You want to hear
for
some
flights
bullshit?
and stay.
This is very local, but Saskatchewan's a shit place to fly out of.
Suck.
Yep.
Well, especially now, it used to not be so bad because you would pick up a flight and it would connect to Calgary, connect to Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to fly to
overnight layovers.
I'm flying over to Ontario on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And fuck, they could not because just the time they have to be there. So I got to fly to Ontario. I have to drive to fucking Regina. I have to park in fucking Regina.
God.
I gotta get on a flight. Only for 2 days I'm spending in Ontario. So I'm going all the way to Regina.
Park at Luke's place and get him to drive you to the airport.
Well, I'm not driving my car, so I don't give a fuck.
All right.
I don't give a fuck.
You're getting paid for it. Yeah. Gotcha.
The company's paying for it.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck, but Jesus Christ, I'm just
that's wild to drive to fucking Regina just so you can get to.
Well, that's a two-hour drive.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm gonna drive all the way to Regina, like sit. Anyway,
oh no, the shot glasses are falling off the table.
Just a. You can get direct flights.
Those are the ghosts in the house.
You used to be able to direct flights from here to fucking Mexico.
Yeah.
Not me at all. Not the 3 whiskey shots.
Dry whiskey.
I've been writing down. Oh, my roommate's asking for when I'm back so we can go to the pub crawl.
Oh, pub crawl.
I've been writing down jokes.
What time is he leaving? 6:30?
No, we're supposed to leave around 7-ish. 7:15, quarter after. So I should grab an Uber from here in like 10, 20 minutes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Shit, I'm no drunk, man. What am I supposed to do?
Hang out. Go to... Yeah. Call no...
Really?
Okay, actually, I'll call no. I don't have his number.
Get his number right now.
Should we end this podcast?
Right.
I'll end it with a joke that I wrote down.
Yeah.
So,
it's a joke time.
Yeah.
Roses or reds?
This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. Okay. Imagine I'm on the stage. I got the microphone. The beer is my microphone. Okay.
RoadBeers.
I like to wake up to the taste of pussy in the morning. I tried to invent a pussy flavored Keurig, but it kept asking me to wash the notebook with it. It's so bad.
We need some work. We need some milk.
This podcast ain't going anywhere.
Oh, we're going straight to the...
Do you got any more? I want to hear another one.
Okay.
Ready?
I just write down things all day when I'm not at work because I'm unemployed.
You have lots of time.
When you're working.
John.
Remember when he got laid off?
Yeah, that's why I went to Cuba.
Yeah.
See, nobody can cancel me because I'm not employed.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
To be unemployed.
Okay,
I can relate.
2 gays walking a bar.
Flip the chair upside down. There's a fork and fit on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. No. A lot of these are just ideas. Okay, Richard Nixon was the first president to go to China.
Wait, say it louder.
No, I think it can pick me up from here.
I'd pick you up from here.
Thanks, John.
Not
Thanks,
in Cuba,
Johnny.
Though. Not in Cuba, though. Apparently nobody does in Cuba.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, Richard Nixon was the first president to go to China. How did he have time to go to China? I've never been to China, and I'm not even the president. I don't know why that was on there.
Did you write that, or did someone else write that?
Oh, no, wait. Okay, this is one that maybe is good. Maybe. That one was... I'm a little hammered, actually. Of course I don't like anti-Semitics. Why would I want to be around people who won't shut the fuck up about the model of the Uber? Semantics. I don't like semantics.
Okay.
So
right.
John and Debbie, do you think I could be a comedian?
I think we should go to an open
commercial break.
Do you
guys have jokes?
We should go to an open
mic.
I'll write you some jokes too. I could.
Dude,
I thought about
they sound way worse when I'm repeating them. When they're in my head, I'm like, oh, that's a banger.
Semantics.
Semitics. There's got to be something there though.
Yeah.
If you write it properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
all right.
potential.
We'll try an open night mic. I went to an open night mic in Saskatoon once.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was so bad.
You know, there was 2 tables, and we went there because it was wing night as well at this fucking place. And we went there for wings, and we ended up staying too long, and it ended up being an open mic night. I didn't actually know this was happening.
Yeah.
There's 2 tables, us, and then a group of people, comedians, but I'm putting that in quotations.
Quotations, yeah.
And we were university students at the time.
Comedians.
All they did was stare at us. For every joke they wanted the validation. It was bad. It was like all but jerking themselves off.
Oh, Jesus. That's like Joe Rogan's comedy. I don't find Joe Rogan funny.
I like Joe Rogan. Oh,
I like Joe Rogan as a person.
I saw a great thing where...
Wait, okay, so I think we're done on this podcast.
Wait, I want to say one thing about Joe Rogan.
Say it.
I saw a thing the other day, and it was like, Joe Rogan is best described as like an ancient, like, Mongol emperor, like a Khan, the great Genghis Khan.
Joe Rogan.
He's like an ancient emperor who got like somewhat interested in philosophy, and so he brings all these people way smarter than him up to the table, and he's like, yeah. They try to explain it to him, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's deep, man.
Yeah, that's deep. And he's like an ancient warrior who got addicted to philosophy, and everyone's just trying to appease him. That's Joe Rogan. I'm like, yeah.
I agree.
So accurate.
He's like, yeah, but he believes everything. He's like, but he said this though.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah. So to finish the podcast, should we do a shot of Crown?
We'll do one more shot of Crown Royal. We're going to do a shot of Crown Royal, and John and Debbie probably won't be invited back again.
Well, I specifically picked you, John, and you, Debbie, just because I figured you guys would be good on the podcast.
He was wrong.
Okay, all right.
I can't.
Cheers. Put down the grinder. Put down the weed tray.
Ontario.
Let's do a cheers.
Cheers
to RoadBeers.
RoadBeers.